talk to him. I don't want to talk to Conrad just yet, though. Can I not talk to Saito or anybody? Okay. I can interact with this door, though. There's a conference room. Let me see something here. Fourth floor conference, third floor chief. I don't think there's anything I can do there. I think I have to talk to Conrad. I don't think there's anything else they'll let me do. Let me see what it says here. Yeah, talk to Gary. Hey, not that CEO you said was behind the liberators. We brought him in, but at least at first glance it doesn't look like we got the right guy. I mean, of course he's going to say he didn't do it, but so far we couldn't establish any connection to Cox or Gonzalez or Banny. It'd be kind of embarrassing if he turned out to be innocent. Yeah. We don't have any clue when and where that second attack is going down either. Starting to get nervous. I have a meeting with the press in a few minutes. We'll go over everything later. Roger that. Yeah, I had a feeling that wasn't the right answer.
I was supposed to write a report on my findings in the Liberators case, but I wasn't able to concentrate for even a second. First, I needed to wait for my colleagues to go home to be alone with Saito. He always worked late. But then what? What if he refused to help me? The idea of having to force him was devastating. He was my friend, after all. When I finally managed not to think about it anymore, a much more dire thought crept up on me. Laura might die tonight. And if she did, it would be my fault.
Yeah, I think there probably wasn't really any good way that I could have answered that because I took the route that I did. So I didn't have enough clues to really point to anything. I mean, it could have been the other guy as well. I was thinking that that was probably the easy route that I took. Still around. Yeah. So where is Saito at? Am I supposed to just go into the chief's office then? Or his former office? Oh, it wants me to submit the sheet. Alright, well, we'll go with this. This is the only thing I can think it would be, is the Sector 2 incident 1800 Androvia. So, go for it. Talk to Saito. here. Right, that. Where is he at? Is that not him there? Oh, here we go, yeah. Neil, hey, you're working late. Listen, there's something I need to talk to you about. Of course, what's the matter? Saito, I'm sorry. Sorry, for what? Is everything alright? No, it's not. My daughter. Lara was abducted. The people who took her want something from me. I need your help to get it for them. What? Lara was abducted? When? By whom? By a group of mercenaries. Shit, I'm so sorry, Neil. What's the CDI's plan of action? The CDI? What do you think those people would do if I told the CDI about it? Wait, you didn't tell anyone else at the CDI? No. Look, we don't have much time. Mercenaries want me to help them get the data back that they stole from the chief. They managed to create a backdoor to the CDI network. They can briefly alter the access rights to the folder they want from the CDI database. They won't be able to retrieve it. That can only be done from a local computer. That's where you come in. You're a sysadmin, right? You have to grant their request for access to a specific folder you're not usually able to see. You'll pull the data from that folder to your local drive, put it on a stick and give it to me. They made it clear it was not to be sent over the web. Okay, listen, holy fuck. I'll bring them the data, and then I'll get Lara back. Neil, you realize that you can't trust these people, right? Why are you so convinced that they'll hold up their end of the bargain? If you want to save Lara, you'll have to ask the higher-ups at the CDI for help. I don't know enough about these people. No chance the CDI would be able to track them down in time. The hack will go down in 5 minutes. If I don't hand them the data tonight, they might kill her. I have an idea. Once they open up the folder they're after, I might be able to locate the source of the back door. We'll explain it to the others what's going on, and we'll raid the location before the handover is scheduled. We'll have Lara back before they find out that we never went through with the hack. If we do it that way, do we still get to retrieve the data in the folder? We won't need it. If we can't trace them and don't get the data, we have nothing. Fine. I'll accept the data transfer either way. I'll delete it if I'm able to trace the hack. Okay, let's tell the CDI. Yeah, you're right. Tell the CDI. Okay, good. I'm glad you agree. I'll find out what their location is, and then we call Gary. What is this data anyway? Why do they want it? I'm not sure. I don't have time to explain. She's calling. Hey, Neil, I got your sheet. All ready on your end? Yeah, we're ready. Good. We're searching that folder now. I'll tell you when you have access. Alright, there we are. You're good to go. Okay, I think Saito is retrieving the data. I got it. Good work. I'll see you at the handover. God damn, Neil. I got their location. Let's call Gary and the others. Thank you, Saito. Thank you so much. I'm calling Gary and the others. We have to prepare to raid, and we have to do it quick. Hold on. One last thing. What is it? There's no time to lose. Did you pull the data? What does it matter? Give it to me. Why? I have the location, Neil. We can go arrest him. You don't need it anymore. I did what you said, okay? I didn't go through with it. Please trust me. It's not a trick. I won't give the data to them. I just need to see what's on there. Please. Here. Please don't do anything stupid. Thank you. Don't tell anyone, okay? Let's call Gary and the others. Let's see. I think I got their HQ. It's inside an industrial zone on the fringes of the city. The company registered there calls itself Rattlesnake Farming. It appears to be some sort of greenhouse. I assume it's just a front, maybe for money laundering. Still can't believe you didn't tell us earlier. What the hell were you thinking, Conrad? And how much information did you feed them about the CDI and about our ongoing investigations? Those people are criminals of the worst kind. Have you forgotten your oath? You'll face serious charges for this, Conrad. Could you please leave him alone, Gary? He's got enough on his plate right now. Well, maybe he would be in a better position if he had told the CDI earlier. Or they would have shot Lara right away if they had caught wind of it. We all had training in hostage negotiations. I'm sure Neil followed it as best as he could. I really don't care about that right now. Can we please focus on getting Lara out of there? I agree. We don't have time to waste. We should be at their HQ within the next hour. That's not a lot of time. Go and gear up then. Alright. Actually, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be there, Neil. You're not trained in extractions like this, and I don't care if I get hurt. And more importantly, you're too close to the case. Risk that you do something irrational and endanger the whole operation is too high. I can't just stay here and wait. My daughter is in there. That's exactly the kind of attitude I'm worried about. I've been in contact with these people multiple times. They know me. Maybe I can convince them to cooperate. Listen, Neil. No more time for discussion. Conrad, Colroy, get yourselves armor and a gun. I have to call Kumar. Your call. Copy that. Don't leave without me. I'll come with you. You will? Okay. Leave in 30. Go to the roof. Well, this is going to be a thing. Let's see what that data was. Did he give me the data here somewhere? Not sure. I assume I'm going to the roof just to smoke, but at the same time, I think it's probably look at the data when no one's around. See if I was right about the data.
I inserted the stick into my cell and opened up the folder. My heart was pounding. For a moment, it looked like the data wouldn't load, but then the files started appearing on the screen. Dozens, maybe hundreds of documents, messages, pictures, and videos. They were decades old. Most of them dated 1799 or 1800. Their confidentiality level was one I'd never seen before. This was the type of data the Garian network would instantly pick up and trace, both to its receiver and back to its sender. It made sense to physically hand-deliver it if one wished to remain anonymous. I didn't know where to begin, so I opened up the very first file in the list, the oldest one, with shaking hands. It was a document sent from someone at the Department of Commerce to the director of the CDI at the time, Amelia Thorne, now Attorney General in charge of the Justice Department. My eyes widened as I skimmed over the paragraphs. When I was done reading the letter, I checked the time. 20 more minutes. I sat down and opened up the second one, then the third. As the conversation went on, a plan was hatched between a handful of politicians, special interest groups from the private sector, and high-ranking members of the CDI. I didn't recognize most of the names. Some might have been pseudonyms. I stopped looking at the files halfway through and let my head sink onto the backrest. Even though they had used very careful language at first, the goal and purpose of the operation were abundantly clear. The failure of Sector 2 hadn't been an accident. Garians had plotted and engineered it to gain sole access to Drovia's resources, and given its strategic importance at the time, ultimately retained supremacy over the solar system. My head was spinning while I tried to figure out what all of it meant for the present, and for me. I had long doubted the integrity of the CDI. Was it still rotten to the core, or had things changed? I didn't know about any ongoing operations that were breaching interplanetary law, but then most agents at the time of the Sector 2 incident hadn't known either. And some of the things I did know about, I didn't want to think about them too much. Now what? On the one hand, the public had a right to know. The culprits had to be found and brought to justice. Reparations had to be paid to the affected families and businesses. On the other hand, if the truth came out, the liberators would win. Savient extremists might be emboldened enough to take control of the colony and declare independence. If that happened, Gara would send its ships, and New Joran might send theirs to back up their Savient brethren, and to finally gain access to the planet's Telenium, of course, if their side won. Hundreds might die, thousands even. Time was running out. I tapped the contact of a journalist I had met a while back. I still hadn't made a decision when I heard the dial tone. The data would probably go through if I decided to send it, but there was no way in hell it wouldn't be traced back to me. My heart was pounding so loudly in my ears that I almost didn't hear the voice on the other end.
This is Adrian Bowley with the Garian Gazette. How can I help you? Hello? Are you there? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm hanging up now. Hang up. Sorry, wrong number. Conrad? Gary, time, let's go. Okay, coming. It doesn't serve anybody to put that out there right now. It really doesn't. It really doesn't serve anybody to put that out there. Alright, agents. I just got the report from Nelson. The big greenhouse in front of us seems to be empty. However, the IR cameras picked up 12 targets and an underground facility hidden underneath. Scanned for traps and explosives came back negative. Be careful regardless. We're going in on my command. Watch your backs and keep a low profile. These guys are dangerous and most likely armed. Use of deadly force is authorized. Getting the hostage out alive and well is our #1 priority. You all know what she looks like. Miller, Johnson, you open up the front door. Once we're inside, we're looking for another door in the back. Watch out for hostiles from that point on. Okay, let's go. Move, move, move. Gary, I appreciate you backing me up earlier. Thank you. For what you did, it's only right you'd help us fix it now. Go get your girl. Save Laura. Clear. Targets ahead. Open up and move in. 3 targets. CDI, drop your weapons. Drop them now. Take cover. Shit, that was loud. The rest of them will be waiting for us. May's been shot. Gordon, Flynn, provide first aid and see if we can get her out to the medics. Fuck. Lock this room down. Keep an eye on those assholes. Get their guns and make sure they stay down. If someone comes through that door over there, you shoot. The rest of you keep moving. We can't give them any more time to prepare or get out. Follow me. Opening up.
In the final corridor, we passed by a large surgery room. I didn't think about it at the time, but that must have been where they had given Zora her new face and implanted Boyd's fake ID. The only thing I could think about was whether they'd moved Laura or done something to her the moment they'd heard us coming.
Next room is a dead end. Expect resistance. Yep, they got her. Drop those guns or we'll shoot. Who are you? What is this? DDI, put your weapons on the ground right now. Ed! They put Laura. It's going to be alright. Give us a minute to talk it over, okay? Oh, I see. It's about the girl. How about this? We hand her over to you and you never show your faces here again. Sound fair? I don't think you understand. This facility is surrounded. It's over. Your only option is to cooperate right now. Alright, we'll cooperate. We'll kill the girl first. No! No? It sounds like you're getting everything you want. That's not how negotiations work. Being a child will do nothing but worsen your prospects on trial. This dude needs to shut the hell up. Come on, we both know I'm fucked regardless. I'll take you out if you make a wrong move. It doesn't have to be that way. What you're saying is our only chance is to fight. I'm sorry, Williams. Oh, he shot him. What the fuck, Zora? Stop. Final warning. Please, Moon, put your gun away. Good. Now lie down. Go cuff them, boys. Ed! It's over now, Laura. You're safe, alright? Alright. Are you okay? Did they hurt you? No, I'm not hurt. Get her out of here. Go! Let's go, Laura. Thank you. Problem is, we got her back, which is great. But we didn't get the people who were actually behind all this, which is annoying. Put it that way.
And that's it. The most tumultuous days of my life, and possibly in Garian history. We never did find out who was behind the Liberators. I had gotten so close, but ultimately, we weren't able to present enough evidence to convict anyone. There was something we must have missed. Luckily, the Liberators never launched another attack or made another statement. They just vanished into thin air. One thing is for certain. Given the contents of the data the Liberators were after, they had to be a false flag operation aimed at escalating the situation between Gara and Drovia for whatever reason. A Garian extremist group hell-bent on exposing Gara's past crimes just doesn't make sense to me. The Liberators remain an active threat, even though there hasn't been another attack yet. I wonder if they'll stop if and when the truth they're trying to expose does become a matter of public record. I still have the incriminating data hidden away somewhere, but I'm not going to touch it anytime soon. Gara's involvement in the Sector 2 incident becoming a matter of public record would be exactly the spark needed to plunge the solar system into war. If the colony decided to declare independence, Gara would send their ships, and New Joran might step up to defend Drovia. Thousands of lives would be lost, and for what? To right the wrongs of a 40-year-old crime? As much as I want to see the culprits behind bars, sometimes it's better to hide the truth. It's strange knowing that parts of the CDI under Amelia Thorne's leadership were involved in the sabotage. Seeing her act as Attorney General and leader of the Department of Justice every day, I wonder what she's involved in nowadays. But I can't out her without telling the whole truth, so I stay quiet. The CDI has suspended me without pay until further notice, and I might face criminal charges. The back door in the CDI database that Zora had installed from my cell was traced back to me, but my superiors seemed to understand that I hadn't had much of a choice at the time.
Yeah.
I had to come clean about the church, in part because I felt bad, and in part because I wanted to get ahead of it.
That was my thought in the first place, was like, just put it under your own name, because then they'll understand why you did it.
Laura is free again and seems to be doing okay, but I wonder every day about the scars this experience has left behind. Even though I know I'm not directly to blame, I will never forgive myself for inadvertently dragging her into all this. As for me, I am free again, as free as I was before, but my life is forever changed. Catherine and I are dating again, however crazy that sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Things are so different now. The world is so different that maybe something good can come of it again. And finally, Zora. Easily the strangest person I've met in my life. Despite the terrible things she did, I'm grateful for her help when it really counted. It took the CDI a while to find out anything about her previous life. Turns out her name used to be Elizabeth Davis. She and her friend Boyd had been picked up by the mercenaries as teenagers on the run. Both of them came from affluent Garian families, and both had been reported missing, presumed dead. Zora will be brought before a judge this week, and I'll be there to make a statement. It might sound strange, but I hope she'll walk free again one day.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. That was very, very good. And actually, despite not getting all the answers, I am satisfied with my ending, honestly. Which is not often, a lot harder than it sounds, right? It's like, you have a game like this, it's very easy to just give the players like a terrible ending because they missed one or two things, you know what I mean? But honestly, it's much harder for them to give you like a satisfying ending based upon your choices, and I'm actually satisfied with that. I'm satisfied with how that turned out. And I like that they went through the trouble of justifying the not sending it to the press and all that stuff, like how it, you know, it would have just started a war, people would have died from something that was like a 40-year-old crime and all that stuff. So I'm glad they went through the extra effort of being like, this may not be the best outcome. You didn't find out who was behind everything, but we're not going to like rake you over the coals for not doing that. We're going to give you something that wraps it up based upon what you've selected. So I'm satisfied with that. Very, very satisfied. I like this game. This was a surprise, man. This just came out of nowhere, this game. I wasn't sure what I was going to get into when I played a little bit of it, and I was immediately hooked. I like the way they did things. Like I said, the only real feedback I'd have is two pieces of feedback. One is I wish they had done something like a few games do, where when you start the game up, it kind of gives you a rehashing of everything you know, right? Like last time on Lacuna, you know, that kind of thing. So that, because it could have been days since you last, or in my case, weeks since you last played it, you know, and try and keep all that in your mind is just not going to happen. Especially a game like this where it really rewards you for knowing like all the little pieces of things. The other piece of feedback I'd give is that while I appreciate that, you know, you had email, you had news, and you had logs, and I appreciate that they kept all that stuff for you, and it made sense in world. I would have much preferred just having one view of all of that. Not to mention the fact that there were some things like pin boards and stuff that didn't actually transfer over into logs and stuff, which I guess is fine because you didn't really use them again. But it would be nice if all that was just kind of in one section. I know that in universe it made sense to have them separated out, particularly given that you might not get all the news, you might not download the news all the time, you might not get all the emails and all that stuff. So I understand where they were coming from. I just feel like, me personally, it would have been nice to just have it all in one spot that's like searchable, right? So I could just type in a person's name and say like, here's everything I know about this person. Like, here's where this person was referenced in all the other things. Even if it was just like the glossary had all the people in it, and it would have been nice if when I clicked on them, it would have said, here's all the things that mention this person. You know what I mean? So I could get a better picture of it. But that's like a small negative, I guess. I don't even know if I would call it a negative. It's just more of a suggestion. Otherwise, game is fantastic. Like, I generally don't go for point and clicks that often, because more often than not, a point and click is a pixel hunt and ultimately unrewarding. But occasionally there are ones like this There was another one I played a couple years ago as well that I can't remember the name of right now. Occasionally you do it right, where it's like, we're not going to punish you for, not seeing that one little pixel that you needed to see, or not having moon logic, where it's like, you're combining 3 completely unrelated things in order to make something. I think it was good. I was correct in that one sheet was the obvious answer, and it was wrong. It would be curious, though. I'm a little bit... disappointed that they didn't tell me, like at the end here, tell me which ones I got right and which ones I got wrong. I'm pretty sure I got all of the sheets correct except for the one about who was behind it, who was behind the Liberators. And I was going back and forth, like maybe it was the Drovian ones, the Drovian mining company, because they went to the Davis one, which ended up, Zora's name was originally Davis, so maybe that was the whole thing. That they were like setting them up to do that. So things like that. Interestingly enough, they were held up in a food processing thing, and I don't know where that came. I don't know if that was just out of the blue, or if that was actually the thing behind it was the food processing area, or what. I don't know how that came to be, but yeah, man, that was fantastic. This was a really good game. Really, really, really good. Really enjoying it. Really enjoyed it. So that, my friends, has been Lacuna. So thank you so much for those who will be watching the recording. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next series.